Hey, what's up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're doing something a little bit different, and that is because Tycoon has officially released on the global side. Now, this is a game mode that a lot of you guys have known I've been waiting on for a very freaking long time. That's because Tycoon not only allows me to just have a little bit of fun here, but it pretty much just allows me to just talk the way I usually want to talk here and just interact with a lot of you guys. So if you guys are interested in the video, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because we're going to not only be playing the Tycoon game mode, but teaching a lot of you guys how to play as well. So let's get straight into the video. Now, as you guys can see how the game is already looking, if for those of you who have not been playing Tycoon all too much, Tycoon itself is a very interesting mode. It really plays out to just be like an evil Uno, and anything you do can practically get you kind of cooked up. So for us, we have to be kind of careful with getting rid of all our cards in hand. The premise is just to get rid of every card that you do have inside of your hand here, and once you're able to go ahead and do that, you pretty much are the winner. The only downside is if you, being the Tycoon itself, being like how I am for the last 2 rounds, if you don't come in first the 1 round, it could turn you immediately into a beggar, which makes you the bottom of the barrel. Kind of annoying when you do think of it that way, but it does still have a little bit of fun with it, seeing that by doing this and actually playing your hands right, you can do something like this and utterly be the lead of the pack pretty darn easily. Now, what we have to do before we really get to being like this, or actually understanding how this game does work, is really just the rules. So now we've ended up completing this round, we're going to immediately go ahead and get ready for the rules section, seeing that easily we got this in the bag. So to get things straight, we have to think about exactly how the rankings do work inside the game. The main 4 rankings that you're going to see inside of the card game itself is going to be Tycoon, aka the person who's been winning the most, Rich being one of the people who are pretty high, I want to say the 2nd place person, and then Poor being the 3rd place, and 4th being Beggar. Everyone starts off at the commoner rank, which looks something like this lovely little icon right here, and as the game does go on after the first round, you start to get your other one, being of course the Beggar. You have the Rich, the actual what's it called, the Tycoon down here, and then I accidentally skipped the Poor. Each one of these things are going to have their different setbacks. If you're the Beggar, that means you came in 4th place, and with this in mind, you have to give up 2 of your best cards if you ended up coming in that 4th place. This immediately will go to the 1st place person, being the Tycoon, and they will get 2 cards of whichever you do select, though they do have to be high cards, so you never want to be in the Beggar spot. As for the Poor, whenever you are one of the Poor here, you need to give up one of your best cards to the Rich. It's only going to be 1 best card, and that is going to immediately go to the Rich. So for the Poor person, being this icon right here, you didn't have to give one of your best cards to this icon immediately here. As for the Rich, if you are able to do anything here, you need to choose 1 card to give back to the Poor. So although the Poor is giving you a really good card, you could choose any bad or good card to give back to the Poor itself. So they are getting somewhat of an advantage itself, but not all the time, because Beggar is the only one that is truly getting a huge disadvantage, seeing they are losing 2 whole cards. Tycoon, on the other hand, as I did say before, you get just 2 of the best cards that you can get from Beggar, and you will only swap to any cards that you want to do and give it to the Beggar themselves. This is really just going to allow you to do whatever you want. But here's the catch with Tycoon. On the off chance you came in first the first round, you now have to fight for your life because everyone's out to get you. If you come in second, if you don't finish first, you then immediately will go bankrupt and become the Beggar. So that immediately, from becoming the 1st place person, you're now going to become the last place person, not only losing it all in point ranking, but you're also going to immediately become a Beggar, getting the worst disadvantage. So it's kind of wise to try to stay in the 1st place position. But now we have the rankings, or the titles, all out the way. Let's talk about how the cards do work. Cards themselves inside of the deck that you want to go ahead and look at here usually go from 3 being the lowest card all the way to Joker being the highest. So 4 all the way through 2 is going to be your higher cards. Anything in between that is always great to use, but there is a little bit of a catch. For example, we have certain cards that are like an 8 that can immediately, if they are paired the right way, let's say someone puts down 2 7s or puts down 2 5s, and you put down 2 8s, that immediately ends the card chain itself and allows the person who placed those 2 8s down to go again and reset the card chain how they want. So now it wipes the field. The 2 pair is now gone. They can decide to put down a 3 pair, a 1 pair, or either just go ahead and do whatever they really want. It's honestly up to them, and they can start on any number that they want to. But there are other things that do come into play. For example, jokers act as a copy of a card. So if there's a 2-pair or a 3-pair down that has like 3 10s, but you only have 2 10s, you can use a joker, for example, to go ahead and say, hey, I'm gonna go now and it is my turn, which is pretty darn interesting, seeing you are technically copying a card. And then there is one other special card effect that can end up happening. If you do have, of course, 4 of a kind and you're able to put it in any order, that is called a revolution. But what revolutions initially do is, instead of us going the card strength of 3 all the way to joker, it now will go joker all the way to 3. Wait, no, joker all the way to 2, meaning your highest card being 2 is now going to be your lowest card. So there's going to be points where you really don't want to go ahead and keep all your higher cards, but there's also going to be points where you don't want to use your lower cards. So you got to kind of be careful. So instead of it always being the 3 the joker set, it can reverse and end up now making joker and 3 the highest cards, while ace, 2, and king are all going to be your lower cards. Something you got to kind of learn as you go on, but it is quite annoying. Other than that, we do have one additional card, which is called the wonder card, and this allows you to play it on top of anything if you do get yourself into a bind, pretty much just resetting the entire hand and letting you go once again. But how we explain that, let's try to at least showcase it a little bit inside of game mode here. But one thing I do have to say is, if you have cherishes the whole gameplay thing, be sure to go ahead and complete that, because it does make a huge difference for this gameplay specifically. For example, I don't have this up here. Well, by getting cherished to rank 13, which I will be doing after this video here, it makes a counter. So it'll tell you how many cards are really just left in your hand and how much you really have to deal with. Now, I'm gonna do something a little stupid because I'm using my joker card right here, but we're gonna go ahead and do this to kind of continue cupping or at least being ahead of the 3 card set. Now, obviously someone can mess me up by easily putting down a wonder card, but it doesn't look like anyone was kind of brave enough to do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try and set this up in a way. I want to keep my 2s just in case we do have to go in a 2-pair battle, but I'm gonna get rid of my aces. This isn't gonna hurt me all too much because it's pretty easy to get rid of what I need to get rid of. And as you can see, no one had 3 things that were higher than an ace, so we get to go again. Well, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and do something a little bit risky here. We're gonna play our 8 to reset our hand once again, press a 4 down, and this is gonna get someone to want to put something higher than a 4, and it's in a singular case. Well, I guess on this one, no one really felt that chance to really do it. So what we get to do is, although he plays down a wonder card and he thinks that we are just down to our worst hand ever, what he doesn't know is we do have a wonder card of our own. So we can quite easily put this down on anything that we want and do whatever we want. So if you ever want to be safe and end out the hand a safe way, just go ahead and end off with this wonder card. It kind of acts like a wild card in Uno, and you can easily just go ahead, go again, and place this. Just as easy, we ended up getting the Tycoon, but now this is where I have to fight for my life, because even though now I have won, that means the next round that we end up getting into, everyone's going to be out to get me. So getting blocked, anything like that, is going to be fairly easy. But we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of cut here to get to the next round, because this might take them a little while. All right, so now that the round is over, we pretty much can do whatever we really want to do. And now, since I'm the Tycoon leader, I'm able to swap with whoever I really want to. So normally what I end up doing is I get rid of some of my lower cards, but I also try to keep them in check. So what I'm going to do is we're going to offer up our 10 and we're going to offer up our 6, just on the off chance that we get a revolution, which resets all our cards. We need to keep some low cards, being 3 and 5. So first things first, we need to get rid of some of these cards in our hand here. I want to try my hardest to get rid of at least this king scene. I only have 1 king itself, so we're going to throw out a joker of mine. I do want to keep 1 joker just in case, because with this in mind here, anything can possibly happen. And when we are playing around with this, we have to keep in mind that they have a huge chance with just utterly messing us up here. And what I mean by that, I mean, if they do revolution us, we genuinely won't have anything to counter it. So we have to be kind of careful what we do. The good part about this is we are keeping our 4th pair so we can counter revolution if needed, and then we are also keeping whatever we do need in the long run. So let's use a 2-fer here, and I think what we're gonna do, well, I guess we're not doing anything because he just straight up blocked us off with a 2-fer. So let's go ahead and pass and let him reset the card set. Now he's doing a 3 pair, which is perfectly fine with me because I can just do 3 aces. Though with this, I have to be very careful on my next play. What I'm going to go ahead and do is use the 3 aces. No one should have anything because we did already have a wonder card used. There's only 2 of those inside the entire game. And what we can do is place our 2 8s down, do our 2 2s being the top food chain. And the only way they can stop this is if they have a good wonder card. Well, lucky for us, we know no one has that. So we can place our wonder card on down and end out the card game immediately by placing the 3. It was pretty easy as long as you are the Tycoon player. Usually if you are the person at the top of the food chain, it can be pretty easy as long as you play your hand correctly. Now on the off chance you make a mistake, that's where you let yourself open to just being absolutely smashed. So you got to be very careful when it does come down to this. Since this ended pretty darn quick, we're going to go ahead and do another cut and of course exit out into the 3rd round. All right, so we're now in the last round here, and once again we're going to try to get rid of some interesting cards. Now our backhand looks a little bit weird here, which is very bad for us because we don't have anything that looks too really good to keep. So we had to get rid of those 2 ones. To be honest, I tried to keep a hold of anything that's like 8s, but usually you kind of can do whatever you want here. Now for us, we can play a little risky here, which is the triple aces, because I know no one can really best that currently. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is do this. I want to see if I can weed out a wonder card, which lucky for us, we were able to weed that out pretty quickly. People ended up using that and it really isn't too much of a problem here. So all we have here is 2 kings. Pretty easy to put this on down, and we can even place down a the 2-2 as well. But it looks like our man Soy over here ended up beating us to it. So let's just go ahead and do this here and wait it on out. F4s, and then I see this is a good chance to do what we really want to do, but I'm kind of risking it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just pass on this one. I don't trust anything that happens with that because that can get rid of some 2 very expensive cards, which I don't want to do just yet. So let's put down a lovely 2 here. Actually, we won't even need the revolution, I guess. Put down 2 jacks, see what happens here. They're going to obviously put this on down, which is a little bit problematic, but I think we're still good for now. So let's use our Joker and then our 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly build up the low cards here. So we have a 5 up. They're using the 9, or at least using the jack here. We have this. We can go ahead. Ooh, see, I think they are. Yeah, they already used the wonder card. So actually we still win this. Let's place down our 2, make sure we reset the whole hand. I'm gonna place down a 9 immediately, and then we can immediately set this up as a wonder card and going ahead and using a 3 card. Pretty easy. It's not gonna be too hard, to be honest. This one was fairly interesting, fairly easy to go ahead and get through, and boom, we've completed this once again. So this could obviously be stopped if a person decided to use a 4, like a 4 set, which luckily no one's deciding to do this. Some people probably have their thing on auto, especially seeing the first 2 rounds went way slower compared to this one. So it's starting to look like auto is getting in play here. But just like that, you're able to go ahead and just easily get through the whole ranking here and set yourself up for success inside of the Tycoon game mode. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do slap that like button on your forehead. Consider subscribing if you are new. We're going to continue doing more things like this, and heck, I may even stream Tycoon later on. I'm unsure, but I'm going to try to get all the way as high as possible to see if we can just be higher on the placement board here. But I need to get this cherished one to make sure I have the counter right. Be sure to get it. It is such a good thing to have, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.